So today I'm going to be showing you some tyres that I've selected for my HPI JumpShot MT. Now I know that this may seem a bit weird doing a whole video just showing you some tyres that I've selected for one of my RCs, but there's actually a reason for this because these tyres are a little bit different, and I'm going to be doing some size comparisons with some of the other tyres that I have, as well as the stock tyres. We're going to be looking at weight differences and why I've chosen these particular tyres for this truck, and hopefully at the end of this video it'll help somebody out there make the right decision when they're choosing tyres for their 1/10 scale monster truck. So when it comes to wheels and tyres, there are a lot of options out there on the market. But for me here in Australia, there's really only two brands that I deal with, and that's Proline and Louise. Louise, of course, is known as Duratrax overseas, for those of you who don't know. And before I tell you which tyre I've actually gone with, we want to establish a couple of key points here regarding the stock tyres, just so that we have a sense of where we are and where it is that we need to go. So the reason why I'm changing these particular tyres is because they didn't offer grip inside the BMX track. But they are not complete throwaway tyres. They did actually offer some good grip on tarmac, grass, and just some general dirt and off-road terrain. They did okay. But it was just inside the BMX track that they gave me some trouble. And, you know, being a two-wheel drive, short wheelbase, brushless little monster truck, running on a surface that I couldn't get grip on was just incredibly frustrating to drive, and I'm sure equally frustrating to watch when I uploaded that video. And I really feel sorry for everybody that watched that because I just wasn't having fun. So it was inevitable that I had to change tires. And you know what? Traditionally, I would have just gone for another set of Proline MX28s or something like that, and I would have been done, and I wouldn't have even been doing this video. However, when I used my MX28s on the Maverick Quantum XT, I had a couple of people comment saying that, you know, these are such expensive tires on such a cheap RC. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to, you know, include these sort of tires as an upgrade or a must upgrade for a car when the tires are almost about half the price of the car or something like that, at least here in Australia anyway. So I had to obviously look at alternatives this time around, and hence the reason why we have those Louise tires over there, and why we're going to be talking about this a little bit. So, one of the things to take into account when that I took into account when making my decision on a new set of wheels and tires was that I wanted them to be belted. These guys ballooned quite badly when I ran it on 3S trying to do speed runs, so I wanted belted tires for sure. And also I wanted something that was going to be around the same sort of size. But the other thing I wanted to obviously make sure of is weight-wise, how it was going to affect the truck. So I didn't want to get something that was going to be overly heavy either. So let's establish some weights, shall we? The stock tires weigh 155 grams, which, to be honest, compared to a lot of these that you see here, these are actually really, really light tires, which makes the car really lightweight. But taking into account that it is unsprung weight because it's not above the shocks, it's below the shocks. So if anything, a heavier tire might actually work in its favor by giving it a little bit more stability. I don't know, just thinking out loud. So that's 155 grams, that's what we're working with. So if I was going to get something belted, Proline offer these Trencher belted tires with a 2.8 inch. These are actually, I've actually put the 14mm hubs in here because I was going to use these on my Team Magic E5 trucks, on one of them. Now these guys are 245 grams each. And that's a heavy tire. That's almost 100 grams more than that one. So I wasn't going to use that one. So then I thought, okay, well, maybe I can use these old Trencher non-belted ones. So these are non-belted. And something to keep in mind as well, for those of you who don't know, the belted stuff, it's really firm around the sides here. You can really feel that belt, whilst with these, super soft. Now, the rubber compound is still quite good, but you just can't really squeeze these tires at all compared to that. So something to take into account there. Now, these guys are 180 grams. So they're pretty light, pretty cool. But of course, they're still going to balloon, so I wasn't going to use them. Of course, the next one was the MX28s with the 12mm hexes. These are 216 grams, so not too bad. Definitely lighter than the Trenchers because the Trencher have belts. These ones are not belted. They do have belted MX28s. but it's a much thinner tire. It's about that thin. So it kind of looks like that. And I've actually got a set of those on my Thunder Tiger Bushmaster. And unfortunately, I wasn't going to take them off that car for this application because one, they look too thin, and two, yeah, we just didn't have any other stock here in Australia at the moment, so I wasn't going to buy another set anyway. Now, for those of you who may be curious, there is also these which have a 17mm hub. Now, I'm just throwing these in here just purely because I had them, and these are 210 grams. Because I know that some people out there might be thinking, well, you know, these are 216 because they have the screws and everything, but there's like 6 grams difference between them. And even if this had the 12mm hub, I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. So this Raid wheel with the screws on there doesn't really weigh that much different for one that isn't a Raid wheel, just for those of you who might be interested in that little bit of information. All right, so moving on to Louise tyres. First thing was I ordered myself one of these. This is what I ordered. This is the new wheel that they've got going on. This is a belted tire as well, so it's got the MFT, which stands for Microfiber Tech. But unlike the Pro lines, these are actually fairly easy to squeeze in here as well. They actually do work a little bit nicer. They're not as thick, I think. The belt's not as thick. And I got these purely just based on the picture and how they looked. I know the tread pattern because I've used that tread pattern on another tire, and I know that this was going to grip, so I ordered these. But these guys are 249 grams, and the other downside is the size. They just looked ridiculous on this truck. I didn't like the way that they looked. They were just too big, but I kept them anyway because I think I'm going to use them on my Phantom Plus XT. My Quantum Plus XT. I'm going to use it on that car, and they'll actually work quite well there. And then I thought, okay, well maybe I'll try these ST tires. They're way too small, but this is a true 2.8-inch wheel. This is a bigger wheel that they've got on there. I don't know why they've gone with the bigger one. I suspect that 2.8-inch is the inside diameter here, because this I think is actually a beadlock. You can actually see a seam just in there and in there, and there's screws on the back and the front. So unlike these that are just a decorative thing, these screws don't do anything. There's nothing on the back here. These I think are actually doing a job. They're clamping that wheel into place. So that's the difference between these two. So I was going to get this wheel, but with the MT tire, which would have been a straight up identical sort of replacement. But this wheel is not available with the belted tire, as far as I could tell. I couldn't get that with the belted tire. And then when I saw, of course, that these wheels look different, they look kind of cool, I had to get them. But when the MT didn't work, I saw that they had the ST. And this is what I've gone with. So the ST in this wheel has a lower profile tire, as you can see there. Has the same tread. It's also belted. And now it's very much the same size, and I get that cool wheel. This wheel is also available in a plain black as well if you want to go for that. So weight-wise, that one we said was 249. The little guy is 117 grams, so it's really very light. But it's perfect. Like, this is perfect for like your stadium trucks, your Rustlers, your old two-wheel drive Vortex, the Firestorm if you've still got them. I've currently got a set of these on my Hyper 10 TT, and it works perfect. And this one is 195 grams. So this is actually not bad at all as far as weight-wise. It looks quite different. It's the right size, and it's belted. So it ticked a lot of boxes for me, and that's the tire that I've gone with. And I guess now you know the differences between all of these. I'm not going to mention prices here because I know that prices can fluctuate and can change overnight. And of course, my audience is from all over the world, and whatever price I quote here is not going to mean much to you because in your part of the world this could be totally different. I'll leave prices out of it, but I'll have links in the video description, at least for the guys here in Australia. If you want to grab any of these wheels, I'll put links on there for you to go check them out because of course we do sell them at Metro Hobbies. But I just want to be clear as well at the end of this that this is not a paid promotion. I did pay for these Louise tyres. I did pay for some of these Proline tyres as well. And I think I got the Trencher belted. Proline sent me those quite a while ago. But this is not a paid promotion at all. So I did pay for these, and I am very happy with the way that they look and everything. I'm hoping that they perform just as well as the other tyres that I've used in the past in a two-wheel drive little monster truck. And I'm just now waiting for some good weather to get out there and run this truck and yeah, show you what it's all, how it's going to perform. I've also changed out the radiator and installed the gyro, and I'm just waiting for a front bumper and the rear wheelie bar to turn up, and then we can go out there and have some fun and see what else we can do with the Jump Shot MT. That is it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and got something out of it, please be sure to give that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as I said, check out the video description. There will be links in there to all the tyres as well as my social media pages. Thank you again, and I'll speak to you all next time.